The CHIME-HIMSS John E. Gall Jr., CIO of the Year Award recipient, is HIMSS Fellow and CHIME Fellow, Edward W. Marx. Ed Marx has contributed to health IT in multiple settings. He has held the position of CIO in academic and non-academic environments, in urban, suburban, and rural communities, and in the not-for-profit and the for-profit sectors. Ed was appointed by the Texas governor to chair the Texas Health Services Authority, the board charged by the legislature to oversee health information exchange for Texas. Ed also serves as a CHIME State Net representative, responsible for fostering statewide coalitions to advance and standardize the adoption of health IT and health information exchange. Ed, congratulations.
Clearly honored and humbled, like the rest of the award winners this evening, to receive this award. And it's obvious that Texas Health Resources is a great place to work. And I'm just a representative of the institution. And it really isn't about me, but it's about the culture of the organization that I come from. It's an amazing, amazing organization. And tonight with me, I have many of our staff, many of our team is with me. And they're the ones that really make it happen. And also my leaders, the ones who serve along with me at the senior level, are really responsible for us being able to leverage technology to make a difference. And it's great when we get a lot of external accolades, like we recently won the Davies Award. But you know what? What we know, and what I'm going to share with you, is it's not so much about the external, but it's what happens inside of Texas Health. And because of the great leadership that we have, and my boss, John Scholl, who's here as well, we save lives. We leverage IT and we save lives. And I have to also acknowledge a couple of individuals at my table who believed in me before I believed in myself. And so I remember when I took my first job, I thought I was becoming the Director of Physician Relations, but it was actually a Director of Physician Information Systems. I had no clue about IT, serious. And I told Mike Gogola, I said, Mike, you hired the wrong guy. He said, no, Ed, it's not about skill, it's about talent. I can teach you the skill, but you've got what it takes. And Mike, thank you for believing in me before I believed in myself. And then I moved on to University Hospitals in Cleveland, Ohio. And I was recruited to lead the IT for the faculty plan. Well, mergers happened, and eventually I became part of a very terrible IT organization. So they said, since I'm the new guy, why don't you work with finance? So there I was. I remember Kevin, the CFO. He had just come from the Cleveland Clinic, was now our CFO, and I remember going to his 7th floor office. And adjoining the office, he had a conference room, and I was scared. We had a failing implementation of a financial system, and I really wanted to square it up. I really wanted to make it work. And I'll never forget, because I said something I wouldn't normally say. I said, balls to the wall. And Kevin said, who are you? He said, I like this guy. And ever since then, we formed this partnership, and he became my mentor. And 2 years later, when the opportunity came for a new CIO for that organization, even though I was totally unqualified, Kevin paved the way for me to become CIO at University Hospitals. So Kevin, thank you for believing in me before I believed in myself. And then finally, I thought about, well, what makes me want to take risks and go out there and, you know, really cause change and what it takes. You know, it takes a lot of guts sometimes to really lead change. Where did I get that from? And as I reflected upon it, it can only come from one place. My parents. My parents both survived World War II. My mom her house was bombed every day. There was no school. Once my granddad died in the German army, my mom had to take over the household and help raise her 2 brothers. My dad's a Holocaust survivor. My dad's sitting at the table as well. And they instilled in me the fortitude that it takes, right, to lead. Leadership is hard. And the courage that he gave me to lead and become a man. So Dad, thanks for believing in me before I believed in myself. And finally, I was pretty messed up. I was pretty messed up, probably still a little messed up. And I was 17 years old, I met this beautiful woman. And she was like beauty queen runner-up, but in my mind, still a beauty queen. And I was this punk rocker. I had a shaved head, and she was a classical pianist, and I was listening to punk music. And she took an interest in me. And we got married, and there's a lot to the story, but we got married, but you know what? I got fired in one of my first jobs. And we were on food stamps, and she was used to living a high-class life with her parents. And here she was living with me, and we were on food stamps. And you know what? She didn't care. She loved me the way I was, rich or poor. And when I messed up, and I still mess up today, she washes my feet. So Julie, thanks for believing in me before I believed in myself. And finally, I said finally 3 times, but I swear this is it. I swear this is it. I'm a poster child for redemption, for grace and mercy. And I have a God who believed in me before I believed in myself. Amazing grace. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the honor.